Hey everyone. First off, I just want to say I'm very excited to be here. I'm going to be sharing a bit of my story and how Young Life has shaped that story. I've grown up as the youngest in a pretty large family, 2 brothers and 3 sisters. My parents loved us very much and did everything they could to teach us how to love on other people the way Jesus would have. When I was about 14 years old, I went to Young Life Camp in New York and had an absolute blast. Even though I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus, I recognized that the earth was beautiful and pointed to a creator. However, later that year, my dad really began to struggle. A battle with mental illness had emerged, and my dad ended up taking his own life later that year. I decided I could live my life better without God. I immersed myself in pursuing girls, smoking pot, and getting drunk. I still went to Young Life Club because it was fun and I thought the leaders were cool. However, my habits got worse the older I got. I became comfortable with lying and even harder drugs. By the time I was 17, my heart was very hard. One night I made some particularly unwise choices and found myself in handcuffs in the back of a cop car. Thankfully, I didn't get in any serious trouble. However, I was pretty humble when my mother had to pick me up from the police at 4 in the morning. This all got me thinking about the path I was on, and I realized I didn't like the guy in the mirror. I became very sad and very afraid. I knew how far I had moved my heart away from the Lord. I began to pray for the first time in years, and Jesus was there for me. I confessed my sins and I asked for a new life. I was washed over immediately by forgiveness. My new father gave me exactly what I had asked for, a new life. My new life had a lot of new relationships, as well as old ones that had new meaning. I don't remember why, but me and Stephen Merritt ended up hanging out a few weeks later, and I shared my testimony with him. I didn't realize it then, but him, along with all of the other Young Life leaders, decided that they were going to do life with me. I became a part of the Young Life family. I went to camp again that summer with new eyes to see. Instead of just a bunch of cool people I was down to hang out with, I saw people who love Jesus that want so fiercely for teenagers like myself to know Jesus personally. Every evening at camp, after a tiring day of summer activities, Young Life staff members would teach us about who Jesus is. And on one of the last nights, students are asked to disperse across the campgrounds by themselves, to think about if they want a relationship with Jesus too. This summer evening at dusk was incredibly dear to me, because I realized that all around me, my peers were making the same choice that radically changed my life, to follow Jesus. And whether we knew each other or not, I was gaining new family members. Hands down, one of the coolest parts of being in Young Life is I get to see how my leaders live out their lives. One of my closest friends, Mitchell, is only a few years older than me, and he's getting married in July. And the best part is he's doing it in a God-honoring way. A lesson I learned over this past summer was taught to me by a fellow student who has become like a brother to me. My friend Brian showed me that my life has an impact. Brian lived for many of the same worldly things that I chased too. But he saw that I now live my life differently because of Jesus, and that made him want to change. Life is good. I always know that my Young Life leaders will have my back, to mentor me, disciple me, or even just pick up a call at 2 a.m. because I need to talk. Where's Axel at? Every morning before school starts, myself and a handful of my best friends through Young Life all gather at one of our houses to have our quiet time with the Lord. We read our Bibles, journal, and pray. On Monday night, we have club. We go crazy for games, skits, and classic songs we can all sing along to. And then one of our leaders gives us a message on who Jesus is. On Wednesday at Campaigners, we plan for club. We talk about how we can be reaching out to friends in school and on our sports teams. And usually over the weekend, we will have a guys' night where we just hang out. So I'm not sure where I would be today without Jesus, but I certainly wouldn't be here getting to share my testimony. God has taught me well the importance of community, and that's why I love Young Life, because it is the community that God has given me and all my fellow students. Thank you.